Hello, hello, hello. It's another coffee time. We're doing coffee time. Yeah. It's the news. Top story, Glenda Jackson has died. Again, award-winning actress, politician. Yeah. So, 87, not bad. So we'll just mention that to start with because it's a big story for many of us. We remember her in Morecambe Wise. Let's pull that picture up. 1972 Christmas special, though many of us would have seen the repeats. And a legend. That's it, just a legend. Very sad to hear that. But yeah, passed after a short illness. Of course, the big story is the Privilege Committee, Parliamentary Privilege Committee. Oh, they've been piling it in on old Boris Johnson. They said he deliberately misled MPs over Partygate, and he would have been suspended for 90 days. But he already quit, so wasting our time. So what's the point? What's the point of any of it? That's the thing. Again, Boris Johnson does whatever he wants to do. If you behave like that in any other company, you'd be, I don't know, maybe face a private prosecution. But again, our politicos can get away with murder. Just do what they want, isn't it? Just do what they want. But Partygate was ridiculous because all those politicians were working in Downing Street in close proximity, but as soon as they raised a drink or had a slice of cake, it became an issue. So that's the nonsense of the whole thing. The whole, not being able to meet up, the isolation rules were a nonsense, and Partygate shows that. That's it. That's it. Meanwhile, we're going to Australia. If you want to live in Australia, it's a bit difficult for you. This British couple, Greg Tunnicliffe and his wife Sheena, have been ordered to leave within 7 weeks. They arrived in the country back in 2015 and have made their home there. But yeah, they've got to go. Here they are with their 2 daughters. And you're probably wondering, why have they got to go? Well, they're too old. They're too old. Well, Mr. Tunnicliffe works as a plasterer, and the company that was vouching for him, I think, is closed, and so now he hasn't got anyone to vouch for him, and so they've got to go. And the residency rules have changed. If you want to apply for a permanent residence visa in Australia, they set the cut-off point at 45 years old. So they are too old to stay in Australia. They're going to have to come home, and they don't want to because they've set up their life there. The wife Sheena has set up a business. The 2 daughters are studying in Australia, and now on your bike. That's Australia. They're lucky they don't have a disabled child, because then they would have been out immediately, because you have disabled children trying to get into Australia. They say, you're a drain on our resources, get out, cobber, they say. So there you go, don't go to Australia. Alright, that's the Australians gone. Meanwhile, apparently we've been pronouncing our favourite drinks all wrong. Is there any other way to pronounce tea? I do not know. But here we go. So let's do this. The Kiri, right? The correct pronunciation is Daiquiri, not Daiquiri. What? I said it right the first time. Cointreau. is pronounced Cointreau, not Cointreau. Does anybody ever call it that? I thought it was coin, as in coin, because you're it's French, isn't it? Negroni Spagliato is pronounced Spagliato, which I just said there. Oh, good. Yeah. Mai Tai is pronounced Mai. You see, I'm just saying what they are. This is really kind of boring, isn't it? This is Darren. You've just lost it. And here's a man making a cocktail. Oh dear. But they've even got beers that you've probably been pronouncing wrong too, like Garden, Garden, got something like Garden, not Ho Garden. I don't know why I bothered. There's a big list. You can go to the Daily Mail website and just look at the big list of beers. Have you been saying Guinness wrong? Really? Ay. Meanwhile, are you sick of wasps? I am. Apparently, there's a way you can get them to buzz off. It's true. Dr. Amir Khan appeared on ITV's Lorraine show this morning to give a little insight. What was his advice to keeping wasps away? He said, wasps have a bad reputation, but it's important to know they're important pollinators for our plants and flowers. He said that their predatory nature means they can control the number of smaller insects, such as greenfly. They're not all bad, he said, before adding they only sting as a defence mechanism. He said the best way to avoid being stung is not to annoy them. Yeah. Also, don't wear bright clothes, colourful clothes, because they're attracted to them. If you wear whites and yellows, they'll be at you. If you've got dark colours like blues and blacks, they're less likely to come towards you. They don't like cucumber, so wear cucumbers. I guess wear cucumbers. Or if you say you're in a pub garden, perhaps a beer garden. Who remembers beer garden? Who remembers beer gardens? Just have a cider. Pour a little bit of cider into the glass. They fall into it and drown. I caught and killed thousands of them once, like that. It's true. Meanwhile, we was talking about this on the live stream the other night. What was we talking about? We was talking about Sir Tom Jones, and it is this very day, back in 2005, that me and the missus saw him at the MGM in Las Vegas. Yes, it's true. If only I can get the story to open. Yes, Sir Tom of Jones has said that he's not retiring anytime soon. He's embarking on his latest UK tour, and he'll only retire on one condition, and that's if his voice starts to go. And there he is. Again in the live stream the other night. Oh, it's got a bit of fluff. Not very good, isn't it? On the live stream I said he'll probably just croak it on stage, you know. But yeah, he's still doing it after all these years. I only reported on this yesterday. Kevin Costner, the actor, not to be confused with Bob Odenkirk, is getting divorced from his wife, Christine Baumgartner. But it's gone a bit tricky for him. In the story yesterday, he was saying how he's been kind of kicked out of his own home because she's taken ownership of it. In the interim period, his ex-wife-to-be has splurged $95,000 on his credit card and had a restraining order put against him. And and technically now he's homeless because he can't have access to his own mansion. Yeah, he's kicked out of here, so that's not good. And this is all before they had a prenup and everything, apparently. But it's not looking good for him. Poor old Kevin. What's he gonna do? I'm sure someone will take him in. But there you go. Just don't get married. Apparently mortgage rates are going to stay high for years and beyond the end of most fixed rate deals, warns former Bank of England boss Mark Carney. Yeah, he says there's big tectonic shifts in the global economy, which means there'll be higher, longer term interest rates for a period. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's not good. Got 5 years to run this one down. Meanwhile, how do you want to get rid of your dead pet? Well, there's this system called aquamations. You know, don't bury Fido in the garden. Don't send him up the chimney. Instead, you can use aquamation. It's also known as alkaline hydrolysis. And what you do is you put the corpse into a stream of water and alkaline chemicals, and it basically washes away the flesh, leaving only liquid and bones. The liquid, known as effluent, can go down the drain with other wastewater, and the bones can be ground to ash for the bereaved owner to take home. And it's more ecologically friendly because there's no greenhouse gases. Isn't that nice? So you can just kind of strip the flesh off of Fido, and yeah, and it costs about £430. One company in Seattle called Resting Waters offers the service for that price. And the machines are built by BioResponse Solutions. If you want to get one yourself, you know, if you're trying to get rid of a body or something, blimey, just flush him down the toilet. Meanwhile, this is a shocking story. This is a field next to Cater Park in Beckenham, southeast London. Apparently, a man has been held by police after residents there saw dozens of oak trees being felled by workmen with chainsaws. The trees were felled last Saturday morning, despite them being covered by a TPO, a tree protection order, which came into force 3 days earlier. But as you can see, it's been absolutely massacred. Yeah, suspect has been arrested over the illegal felling of more than 130 protected oak trees. Angry conservationists branded this destruction as a tree massacre and have tied black ribbons to railings around the field. Yeah, it's a pretty shocking sight. If you saw there, you've gone. It's just trees just cut down. And these are wild oaks. They've been self-seeded. You know, no one's planted them there. It's again, we live in these times of mixed messages. You know, of save the planet. Meanwhile, some bozo chops down all the trees. I mean, it's just bonkers. Meanwhile, who fancies some posh sushi? The dress code at the Sushi Kanesaka restaurant in London, right? They have a very strict policy there. You know, it costs £420 per person for the set menu, and you're not allowed to wear any perfume or aftershaves. You know, strong odours, in case you overpower the scent of vinegar and the flavour of the food that they're serving. The restaurant's located at 45 Park Lane, Dorchester Collection Hotel, and it said it doesn't want any fragrances to overpower the smell of vinegar served with its 18-course set menu, which will, like I say, set you back £430. Again, expensive place to go, isn't it? But it's kind of nice though. It's very swish. I wonder if you bring your own chopsticks. Probably not. Not for that. And this is Chef Shinji Kanasaki. And he promises it's a very special and unique experience at his restaurant. There you go. But don't slap on the brute. Don't splash it all over. Let's go to, this is a tribunal case. This is an odd one. Two friends fell out. Carolyn Dakin on the right took a business partner, Sarah Brennan, to an employment tribunal. How? Well, this is, again, it's a bit of an odd one. Because Sarah Brennan apparently wrote in an official work document, use contraception in future, after Caroline Dakin told her that she was pregnant, right? She claimed her business partner unfairly targeted her by introducing a suggestion into the company ways of working guidelines. Mrs. Dakin, who's the godmother to Miss Brennan's daughter, took her to an employment tribunal following the birth of a child after falling out over the business training firm they'd set up together. Right? After a 5-year legal process, this went on for 5 years. Oh, the case has been thrown out. There's somebody at the door. Whoops. Let's move that one. It's a box. Guitar stuff. You wouldn't be interested. So yeah, this 5-year legal process, this tribunal, rattled on for 5 years. Well, she had it thrown out with the tribunal ruling that the used contraception remark was a light-hearted comment between two mothers who were close personal friends. The tribunal in Manchester found that there was plenty of evidence that Mrs. Brennan was a positive, friendly and supportive about her friend's pregnancy. So yeah, there we go. So they fell out. They fell out over a single light-hearted comment and a 5-year tribunal. Nonsense, isn't it, really? But yeah, dismissed. And their relationship deteriorated over it, and that's a shame. All over a joke. Right, what else have we got? Oh, we got some more Just Stop Oil action. This is at the A406 southbound at the Hanger Lane roundabout in Ealing at 8 AM. And yeah, the activists were out again. But this fella, he wasn't happy. He shouted, "You old middle class scum." And this fella, well, he's taking their banners off them again. But yeah, apparently 9 of the eco activists were arrested by police as they're toughening up, they're cracking down on them. Meanwhile, it's another glorious day in the UK. Temperatures are going to be hit 29 degrees C again. Hooray! Warm enough for you? Warm enough? Okay. Meanwhile, about this is terrible. This is This is residents of Kemsing Gardens in Canterbury, right? They received a letter informing them there's going to be a party going on, right? And they told them to park in different roads to ensure no vandalism or damages is made to any vehicle. I mean, not bad for like warning that there's going to be a party. The students, Canterbury students, are given nice warning. I like that. But the fact they can't even park outside their own homes just in case their cars get vandalised. What kind of party is this? This is David, students from the University of Kent. But yeah, that was there were going to be a barbecue scheduled between 9 p.m. and 4 a.m. on last Saturday, June the 10th. And retired civil servant Paul Barber, here he is, holding up the letter saying he felt completely unsafe and intimidated as the party went on. Well, it wasn't a good party then. It sounded like it was a pretty bad party. Oh look, there's the detritus that they've left behind. Bloody students. Should get a job, shouldn't they? Just lazing around. Yeah. Oh, of course, they've discarded their NOS canisters as well. Isn't that nice? Not good. Not good. The University of Kent said, we take our role and responsibility as a good neighbour very seriously, and we value our close friendship with the local communities we serve. We regularly remind our students to be considerate, respectful of their neighbours, on and off campus, and of potential consequences when they fail to do so. We also take all complaints against students seriously and encourage any members of the local community who may have an issue with our students to contact our community liaison team. And yeah, so there you go. But Kent Police said officers attended the property and spoke to those present. No criminal offences were established. So it was just kids having fun. There you go. Good news, everybody. Scientists have created synthetic human embryos in the lab with no egg or sperm. I'm sure I've seen that in a science fiction horror movie. But yeah, they reckon this is going to help with rare genetic disorders, stem cell research. This is a joint project between Cambridge University and California Institute of Technology, and the embryos resemble the early stages of human development. They do not have the beginnings of a brain or beating heart, but they do include cells that will go on to form the placenta and yolk sac. So they're not really human. They're just kind of a cluster of cells that, share properties with us. So yeah, scientists believe that their findings could provide significant insight into aid research into rare genetic disorders and the biological causes of miscarriage. But synthetic embryos are not covered by laws in the UK or in most countries around the world, meaning that they come with serious ethical and legal issues regarding the use of human embryos in a lab. But there you go. Really. But yeah, I'm sure I've seen a movie about that. Always some pretty miserable stories. I'm going to do this one. This is kind of an animal story. This is a video of a squadron leader Ariel Valiente, and it's gone viral. He was flying a plane. He's a pilot flying a plane over Vinces in Ecuador, and well, I'm just going to show you the clip. There we go. A large bird crashed into the cockpit, showering him in blood. Ugh, that's pretty grim. I reckon that the bird was dead, obviously, because it hit the plane at impact. But yeah, it left him looking pretty gory. I mean, that's pretty scary stuff, isn't it? Again, birds can get into the engines of planes and bring them down. I mean, I wonder what it. Looking at the legs, probably a condor, something like that. Oh yeah, they reckon it was a condor because they have these giant things flying. When I went to South America, these giant birds flying around, very impressive up in the sky. Blimey. But yeah, that's not our animal story of the day. It's far too gory. We've got any other? Meanwhile, disability news. Lynn Godwin, who's blind and a pensioner, was out with her 8-year-old Labrador Yoko. Again, it's a sight dog. And she visited Scoops Gelato in Southampton in Hampshire. And she wanted to sit inside to get some shade from the sun, with her dog, and have an ice cream with the guide dog. But as she was stood in the queue, she was approached by a member of staff who ordered her to leave. And this was despite Miss Godwin explaining she's blind and that she wanted to bring Yoko inside. I mean, again, come on. This happens a lot now. People are so ignorant. Yeah, she was told that she couldn't bring Yoko inside the shop. Customers were disgusted by the actions of the dessert parlour. Anyway, this is what it looks like, so you know where to avoid. But Scoops Gelato has since apologised to Miss Godwin and explained there was a miscommunication with the staff member. Yeah, right. I'm just gonna stroke my chinny chin for a bit there. Apparently there was a miscommunication with a staff member who doesn't speak the best English, as she's a Ukrainian refugee. Miss Godwin from Southampton, who has diabetic retinopathy, that's high blood sugar levels damaging the back of the eye, lost most of her eyesight 15 years ago. Gee, that could happen to me. That's why I have my eyes tested every year. She said, I just wanted to sit somewhere nice and shady with Yoko. And I stood behind two people who were getting ice cream. I was waiting for my turn and a lady staff member was watching me. When I walked towards her, she said I couldn't come in with my dog. I pointed out I was blind, and she still said that I can't bring the dog in. There were 3 people who witnessed the incident and said it was disgusting. I then told myself I was not going to make a fuss, and I left the store. So there we go. So I don't want to get anyone into trouble, but just be aware, everyone should be aware that assistant dogs are the same as having a human with you. Exactly. You can't discriminate. And let's have a look at Yoko, who looks like a great pal to have. I mean, that could have been our animal story, couldn't it? It's getting on. Got some design files. Where did they steal it from? I think it's from the Reddit thread Crappy Design. So the Daily Mail have stolen it from Crappy Design, and I'm stealing it from them. I'm like a modern day Robin Hood. Yeah, this is a balcony in Russia, which you could seriously hit your head on, unless you're, I don't know, an Oompa Loompa. That's not good, is it? Yeah. Now, you can't really see what the problem with this is. It's there's a P. It says P is for, and it's out of sight. It's down the bottom. I can't get it on the screen, but it's got P is for toothbrush. So that's a bit of bad design. Trust me, that's what it says. Again, the way the balcony is designed, you'd have to kind of climb over. That's not good. That's not good design. This is in a dentist waiting area in New York. Charmony Jolothus Oliver Sinful. Isn't that a spell from Harry Potter? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I get the feeling someone's view is being blocked. This is a bottle of water from Italy. It's supposed to say sparkling, but you kind of got to... Reminds me of the archive, Genesis archive artwork where all the letters are all over the place. Sprinkling. Yeah, sounds about right. Someone can't read. I don't really get how have they blocked the sign? I don't understand that one. I think the font was unreadable. Yeah, this is a flat where the shower and the toilet are in the same room as the kitchen, which is compact and BoJo design, isn't it? Drop curve on the pavement, but there's no way someone with a wheelchair would be able to get around these obstacles there. Yep, you can't really use the ramp if there's a gate. Yeah. These are terrible design fails. Meanwhile, at this bus stop, you've got to kind of hurdle over the gates to get to the bus, or limbo underneath. And there we go, design fails, stolen by the Daily Mail, and I've stolen for you. Just terrible, terrible. This could be my animal story. Hooray! What else is next? Oh, do you want to see a car crash? They're calling this the Dukes of Hazzard crash. Whee! Look at that. Let's watch that again. Whee! That wasn't a stunt. That was somebody not paying attention and using the back of a lorry, you know, one of those flatbed lorries that moves cars, and they just didn't pay attention. It was what's the lady's name? Tanisha Bruton. Here she is. She wasn't paying attention. And yeah, she says she couldn't remember anything from the incident, which happened on May the 24th. Yeah. In Georgia. Lowndes County Sheriff's deputy was responding to an earlier crash that happened on that day, and his body camera recorded Bruton flying into the air after driving up the ramp of a tow truck. It's quite spectacular. Yeah, it said that a 21-year-old Tallahassee woman was severely injured in the airborne crash on Highway 84, but managed to survive. Absolutely bonkers, and yeah, it really does look like something from the Dukes of Hazzard. That is Darwinism in action. Remember, folks, keep your eyes on the road. Keep your eyes on the road. Meanwhile, Max Park has broken the Rubik's Cube record. Right. Yeah, the 21-year-old has already won over 400 events against fellow cubers, that's what they call themselves, and even made it into a Netflix documentary called The Speed Cubers back in 2020. But yeah, he set a new world record, what's known as the 3x3x3 single solve competition, according to the World Cubing Association. Yes, he broke a 4.5-year record solving a 3x3x3 cube in, funny enough, 3.13 seconds. And I think, is there a video? It says view this on Instagram. Oh, what does that do? I'm a bit scared now. Yeah, here we go. Wow, that is insane. That is insane. That is just absolutely bonkers. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Max Park was diagnosed with moderate to severe autism as a child, but obviously he's got super skills. Here he is with his trophy. There you go. Well done, Max. Amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. Have we done enough? Yeah, we've done enough. I did have a... What did I do with it? This is an animal story. We're going to a residence at the Ellenborough housing estate near Maryport in Cumbria, right? And they've got a 30-strong mob of peacocks terrorising the area. Now you're probably thinking, oh, that's nice. Peacocks. The problem is oh, these peacocks have been damaging cars and being a bit of a nuisance. As you can see, they think they own the place, but it's got a bit heated there, and they reckon residents may have taken matters into their own hands, as 3 of the peacocks have been found dead. Yeah, is murder most foul? Yeah, and these were 3 popular birds named Romeo, Juliet, and Betty, and the trio had their own Facebook page. Yeah. So yeah, there's I don't know who did it, but they reckon people have been driving cars at them and running them over. But the problem is, these peacocks make a lot of racket, and people can't sleep. They've been waking people up, and yeah, it's just driving everybody nuts. Cumberland Council spokesman said Cumberland Council has received some complaints about local residents following the behaviour of some free roaming peacocks in the Maryport area, and our officers are currently working with other agencies to investigate these reports and to gather information. You know, yeah, 2 were killed by cars, which were deliberately driven at. It wasn't those ones I've named. Those ones got their own Facebook page because they've become celebrities. It wasn't those ones. These are mystery peacocks that have been killed, and one of them looked like it had been deliberately poisoned as it was foaming from the beak. There you go. Meanwhile, Animal Sanctuary owner Mel James is coordinating a rescue mission. They're trying to relocate the birds. And meanwhile, Dawn Charlton has launched Save Maryport's Peacocks, and she's had it signed by 259 people so far, so at least someone's trying to save the peacocks. There you go. And that's the story. That was the news today. Let's see if there's anybody in. We have 8 people in. Neil's in this afternoon. He said Bob Odenkirk looks like Robson Green. No, he doesn't. It's a joke. Bob Odenkirk and... Oh, you got to watch Better Call Saul. You wouldn't get it. Runs in, he says hi. Tony's in, he says hi. Jay says hi. Half day today, thank God. It's too hot in the office. You're lucky. You're lucky. Jay says most shops have a sign saying no dogs except guide dogs. Well, it's just the law. You can't discriminate against assistant dogs. And Jay said Robin Hood would be called woke by the Daily Mail. Takes them rich and helps the poor. And yeah, Devo LP cover style indeed. And that was the news. Thank you for watching. Killing the channel 1 video at a time. You know you got to drink out. Ta-ta.